Near mint condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves. How's it going, all you mentees? Uncanny Omar here from Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions. And join me today for my overview of A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance from Image Comics. So, stay tuned. And welcome back, everybody. So what we're looking at here is the latest hardcover from Image Comics and Rick Remender. And before I go any further, does it fit in with the rest of the oversized hardcovers that Image publishes that has Rick Remender's name on it? Yes, it does. So there you go. It fits right in with the rest of those. Now, this is A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. And before I even spin it around to look at the spine, to look at the back, I did want to let you know exactly what we're looking at here. Because when I say hardcover, these are a little bit bigger than those deluxe edition hardcovers also published from Image Comics. So to kind of give you an idea how much bigger these are, they almost feel like the library edition that Dark Horse puts out. And I've done a comparison on the different collected editions for you to take a closer look. But in case you get Omnis, this is definitely taller and longer. But obviously, well, this is a thick one here. But yes, they don't collect as many issues as Omnis usually do. And while we're here, we'll just take a closer look at the spine. You have the Image logo, Rick Remender, Andre Lima Araujo, and then A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, Deluxe Edition. And then down here is the Giant Generation. And then down here is the Giant Generator logo. Then the back of the book retailing for $39.99, and it is rated M. So no dust jacket. And again, it's one of the flat spines, much like Scumbag. I think I published both of these videos on the same day. I don't know, I recorded them in different days of the week. So here's our main character that we will let's just leave him nameless because I don't want to spoil even what his name is. I'm going to go ahead and open this up, but keep in mind it is rated mature, so you're going to be seeing some mature content, and that's mainly due to the violence. There is sexual content in here and language. So I'm going to try not to let YouTube demonetize my channel, so skipping some pages, but kind of giving you the pitch as to what this crazy, fast-paced, and fast-read story is about. Alright, let's go ahead and crack this book open. We have some gray end sheets there, almost teal really. The white page, very thick, glossy paper, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. Rick Remender, Andre Lima Araujo, and Chris O'Halloran doing the colors. The very subtle colors that I think really bring this book to life, with Russ Wooten doing the lettering. So this collects Righteous Thirst for Vengeance, issues 1 through 11. It's all one and done, so there's nothing that follows up after this. The book has 336 pages and retails for $39.99. Kicks off in Vancouver, British Columbia, which I've been there, and this is, oh my gosh, the art style is just beautiful. Now, I've talked about Andre Lima Araujo's artwork in the pages of Generation Gone, and of course The Wicked and the Divine, but here, just on another level, and I think that has a lot to do with O'Halloran's colors too. Like I said, the subtlety really brings them to life. Now, when I first read this, I didn't know anything about the story other than somebody asking me if I've read it, and they said, oh, you're gonna love it, man. It's like a slice of life, and I think this is the blurb too, mixed with an assassin story. So I didn't really know what to expect, and I get the slice of life aspect of it because that's what you get, like, in the first few pages. It's a little bit of a slow burn, but it's so fast to read. It is a huge page turner. Here we meet our protagonist. This is our main character who will rename nameless until about issue number 5 or 6, I think. So he's just sitting out there in the rain, forgets his rain jacket, or not his rain jacket, I'm sorry, his umbrella, And you can tell what kind of character he is. Not a lot of dialogue, which is so rare for a Rick Remender story, because we're used to Rick Remender stories having a lot of dialogue. It's one of the tropes that I love about Rick Remender that sometimes gets on people's nerves, that internal dialogue. And the narrator, sometimes it's long-winded, but here it's a nameless protagonist with no dialogue hardly, and just mysterious. There's no thought bubbles. All we know is that he's heading someplace. He lets these older couple just go in front of him when he's headed to the bus. There's a gentleman here that he helps out, picking up his Drano after accidentally bumping into him. He kind of snaps at him and then immediately apologizes. And then when he goes outside, he runs into somebody that is trying to decide if to put a bird out of their misery or not. And he does the right thing and he gets off the bus. And I'll skip that page. So if if you can't read things about animals getting hurt, this one's not for you. But whenever I'm talking about an assassin, some people are about to get hurt. So he puts it out of his misery by stomping on it. And later you find out that what he's doing is he's heading to this house in the middle of nowhere. And you don't know exactly what his goal is. Well, why is he here? He's just kind of driven by a text message. So he goes to his house. He's looking for somebody named Mary Sullivan. He doesn't realize that he accidentally stepped in a blood puddle. And he's walking around the house. And what he finds is two people that have been tortured. And one of the things that he notices is censoring the images on the left-hand side. They are not censored in the book, but I wanted to talk about this very important part right here, is that he had ran into the guy that had done this because he remembers the bottle of Drano and the duct tape. And all of that was used to torture these couple. So he ends up leaving the house and leaves his footprint there. That is issue number 1. Fast pace, and you really don't know what the heck he was doing there to begin with. You think he's visiting family or friends, and he just runs upon this horrible just murder scene. But then he gets out and he's kind of calm about it. And the more you read this, the more you get to find out a little bit about what his role in all this is. And what the story about this is that this gentleman right here, that I won't tell you his name, but like I said, his name isn't really that important until a little bit later, is that he is stumbling across the dark web. Now, there's no answers that are being told through here. It's very ominous as to how he even approached the dark web. And the dark web is giving him jobs through text messages on his phone to go and kill people. And you get to find out who is behind all of this and eventually why some of these people have to be killed. But instead of killing them, since he accidentally stumbled upon this dark web list, he decides to take it upon himself to go and help this people. For example, the next victim is this young lady right here. And this young lady right here, he goes with somebody else to what you assume is going to go and kill her. But before that, you get to see a little bit about his mom, how she's living at a nursing home. He's asking how she's feeling. She's not very vocal. And you get to see their relationship, like how much he loves his mom. So you know that he's a good guy, even though like I said, there's not a lot of inner monologue or dialogue being spoken by him. And he goes in with this guy to do the job, but instead of killing this young lady, he ends up saving her. You can find out exactly how. However, she realizes that her son is missing. She's like, "Where's Xavier?" And he's like, "Oh, crap. We got to go back to that scene." So they have to go back to the house to get her son out. And now they are on the run with Xavier and the mom. They are now on the run. Remember this guy right here that was the killer in the first issue? He plays a role through here. And it is a page turner. And it is a quick read. And really, that's kind of the pitch. That's all I really wanted to say. It's almost like the first issue is this slow burn, laid back type of story that, you didn't expect it to go the way that it did. Because I love going into books not knowing exactly what's going to happen. Now, if you're the type of person that if you needed in the first issue everything laid out for you, like explanations as to why he's doing this, you're not going to dig this. It's not until like later on that you get to find out some things. And even at the end, there's still some questions that you're like, yeah, but what about so-and-so? And then what about this particular story? So it's not really much about that, but it's more about the ride. Honestly, with a name like this, how could I not help but think of Park Chan-wook? Like, whenever you're talking about Vengeance, like the Vengeance trilogy to me are some of the best movies out there. Like Sympathy for Mr. Vengeance and Old Boy and Lady Vengeance. Those are some of my favorite movies, and those movies really need to be watched. Like, I'm talking the original Old Boy. Each one of those is great, though. Sympathy for Mr. Oh my gosh, each one also has a little bit of a twist, but I'll just leave it at that. This, yeah, just reads like a nonstop, almost like a Guy Ritchie type of film. But I dig it. There's a lot of mystery in here as to who's pulling the strings and why. And then, of course, does he end up surviving with this kid that is looking up to him? Oh, man. It's so good, and it goes in ways I didn't expect it to go. And that's all I will say about that. So if you don't mind violence, this isn't your typical, honestly, Rick Remender story. I mean, yeah, there's a couple tropes in here that are Rick Remender-y, but not like Scumbag. Even Scumbag had more. This one, he does a different thing. Like, this is a different type of story than what I'm used to Rick Remender writing. Lots of violence. There are there's a little bit of sexual content in here. Especially the villain, the reason why things are happening, why he's got a list of people to kill. Now, all the way in the back, this is where you're going to find some of the variant covers. And even the variant cover I have to edit or censor because there was, there's some of that in there, some nudity and some violence. You have character sketches here for the different characters that show up throughout this book. Make sure I can show you some of this. Okay, I think we're good. These are the different tones that they're using throughout the book. Then you have the pencils and inks here. Skipping a few pages because it goes into spoiler territory, so don't look at the extras until you've read the book. And here is the process to the cover inks, and then the color. Oh, the different colors right here. Color Exploration by Chris O'Halloran. Just using different color tones for here. Yeah, the cities. Hey, like, seriously. The artwork in here is just top notch. It's absolutely awesome. I need a... Here, actually, I wanted to come back to this page right here, even though I didn't show it a little bit earlier. This is him helping the young lady out that was on the list. But it's mainly to show you how easy it is to follow the fighting sequences. I think it's phenomenal, even though you get, your action lines right here that show suspense. It is so easy to follow because of the flow of the panels, and then his artwork is just so clean and crisp. And there's some badass imagery here too. This is just some of the stuff a little bit earlier in the book. Now back to this, the city layouts, the city landscapes. And then, of course, the script to finished art. I love when this is thrown in there. Another sketch here in the back, and then the bio on our creators and what other works they've done. And then the little birdie singing, and then the end sheets here. 336 pages, and again, $39.99. It is sewn binding. It's printed in this really thick, glossy paper. And again, in oversized format. Yeah, this one was a quick read, but I've really dug it. It was definitely a page-turner. That, as they say, is that. If you're interested in purchasing this hardcover, don't forget to check out our sponsors.
If you're in Europe and you're interested in buying these books, definitely check out Walt's Comic Shop in Berlin, Germany. They have the cheapest pre-order prices, flat shipping rate of €12 for all EU countries, emails answered within 24 hours, waltscomicshop.com, and you can use the code near mint condition at checkout and get free shipping for all EU countries with your first order over €40. That's Walt's Comic Shop, your reliable source for omnis and premium collected editions in Europe. Ding!
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget, the CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more. And that was the content, the page count, and build of this book. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a big Rick Remender fan and you have to have everything in hardcover edition. If you haven't read this book and you're going into it completely blind, if you read them in trade paperbacks, or if you read the single issues, what you think of the story. Everyone, stay healthy and safe out there. Much love.